So with the recent reveal of Havik in MK1, people have entered the endless speculation phase. We don't know much about his character, but we do know that he is back. So today, let's discuss his bio and his potential identity and just how Chaos has been reborn in the new era. Alright, so we are back. Episode 3 of the unnamed, whatever this is going to be
Whatever,
called.
we gonna bump out all the kinks sooner or later. Just bear with us right now and enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. I hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. But today we are talking about Havik. Havik is, he is one of JD's favorite characters for sure. I know you have a lot of passion for this guy.
Yeah, like he's finally back, man, after 16, 17 years, man. I've been trying to get this man in the game since MKX, man. Like, so it's been a long time coming, and I'm pretty satisfied with what I'm seeing so far. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, for sure. I would have to agree. I think that I'm very happy with the new redesign, as well as like the approach to his character. I think the only thing I might have an issue with, which I think a lot of people do have the same sentiment, is his voice.
His voice.
Yeah, that might be the one thing.
That's the only thing that I'm kind of like. I wish he would be a lot more calm and not like erratic, and like, you know, the type of just loud guy for no reason. Like, I don't know. It's something about like, and I don't know if I was watching the Nethercast or Shred Gaming, one of those guys. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I don't quote the right person or whatever, but he was basically saying like the mysticism, like the mysterious feeling of Havik's old voice, but even though you know he's on all the bullshit. I don't know, just the calm voice from Deception, I feel like it fit his aesthetic a lot more than what this voice does so far, even though we've only heard like one or two lines from him.
Yeah, even the way he talked, like his dialogue structure in the MKX comic book series was also very calm and collected.
Like calm and he, like, don't get me wrong, he's a lot like Deadpool, but like a calmer version of Deadpool. Like, the man's jokes are ridiculous, bro. This man had a joke where I might be remembering this wrong, but it's something along the lines of this. I'm not sure exactly who. He's like on a beach shore. I'm not sure who he was with. I don't remember, but it's two other MK characters, and he basically rigged a boat with explosives. I'm not sure who was on it, and something happened. And he's looking out. They're looking out at the boat, and like I was expecting some huge explode, and then the line cuts, and then on the next panel the boat explodes, and Havik's like, oh, there it is. You know, like, yeah, those type of corny little lines. He's literally witty. Crazy, bro.
Yeah, I think
that's me as a person. So
yeah, it's like, you know, very, very fire character idea. And I don't think that the lines that we've gotten from the trailer, yeah, true. I don't think that the lines that we've gotten from the trailer really dictate how he's gonna be in the game fully or anything like that. Of course not. But his voice was definitely that level, that layer of like you said, mysticism and this calm, collected nature that was so crazy to combat his other aspect of his character where he was like full of madness. Like, you know, there's so much going on in his head. So when he acts a certain way, it's like, this is kind of horrifying, the way that this character presents himself. Hopefully in the trailer they were just using audio from when he was either very mad or very impatient, because I've always looked at Havik as a very intelligent character.
I could see that.
So hopefully that's the case. But anyway, today the main topic, after we got the foreplay out of the way, just you know, talking about how much we love Havik, because we really do enjoy this character.
Yeah, man, he's back, man. I'm so happy,
and
bro.
Today we are talking about something that the community has speculated about quite often since his reveal, and that is who he actually is. What is his identity in Mortal Kombat 1? And the main reason that this has become a big point of contention is because it has been heavily rumored that he is actually another Mortal Kombat character that gets turned into Havik, that over time turns into him, or is it just his main identity was another existing character, right?
Yeah.
But JD, you want to kick us off? Who do you think, or not even that, what is the first option you want to start with?
You want me to go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off?
Yeah, rip the Band-Aid off. What's the first option you want to talk about here?
The one that seems to make the most sense at this point, as far as like, because his bio is out now, so we kind of have a little information, but it's like a backstory. It has nothing. I don't feel that has much to do with like the story we're gonna see in the game. Like, I don't know if I believe that's gonna be like they're gonna push it to the forefront, or maybe he like okay, because according to his bio, he's from Sato, yada yada yada. Went through some bad police brutality and was over like harshly crimed for it, and he, I guess, rebels, causes a whole rebellion.
Yeah.
He's an anarchist, obviously.
Yeah, we do have the bio pulled up here if you want me to reference it for you here.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, so going off of his bio, once we get to some big aspects that can relate to another character, we'll go ahead and talk about that. Rebellious anarchist, that is his moniker, if you will. A citizen of the realm of Sato. So this is already a huge change from his original character. We know that Havik... Yeah, continue.
Yeah, they literally flipped him on his head. Literally,
yeah,
as far as the story, and he's originally from chaosrealm in the old games, but now he's from Sato, which is like the complete opposite realm from chaos. Like, it's literally the complete opposite. So it's like, it's crazy how, actually, I'm not even going to say it right now. It's actually going to go in with a theory that I have about the character and his role in the story. So continue.
All right. Yeah, I do really like this change though, because it's like you can make him start with order and see the corruption and how he hates order, and that's why he becomes so chaotic, right? The embodiment of chaos. I do really enjoy that aspect of this new version. So Havik is sworn to take down its oppressive regime. So Sato is still a very oppressive regime, and free his people. There, order is prized above all else. Lawbreaking is met with strict punishment. Its citizens live in strictly regulated castes. Yeah, okay, I always mess that one up. Okay, as a member of Sato's lowest caste, meaning he's like at the bottom of the, how would you say that? Like the bottom of the, like the class of people. Like if you were to take people into different classes.
Yeah, like he's the lowest of the low of the hierarchy.
Yeah, the lowest of the hierarchy. That's a good. Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you for that. I always forget the English language. Okay, so Havik had neither rights nor privileges. So that you can kind of see how low of a caste he's in. He seethed with anger at the injustice when he is brutally punished for a minor crime. Now, this is where we can go into our first theory, which I don't really think is that big, and I don't really think holds that much weight, and that is Shujinko. Now, Shujinko is my favorite character, you know what I mean? I would love to see him in this game for sure, but I don't think that this is the way to do it, and I don't even think that this is a big enough reason to say that this is Shujinko. So people draw connections to Shujinko through this bio because of the fact that he has been basically punished for a very, very minor crime. And the only other character that we've seen this with, at least to this magnitude, is Shujinko. So in the Mortal Kombat Deception Conquest mode, Shujinko breaks curfew. And keep in mind, this is a grown-ass man.
Curfew, man. This man grown as hell.
He's like 40 or something. Like he's old, and he breaks curfew because in Sato, they control everything. And even if you're a grown-ass man like Shujinko, you are subject to being punished for basically living your life. And that's what happened to him, right? And Shujinko was imprisoned for, I think, 20 years or so. I think it was like 20 plus years.
20 years?
And it was crazy. It was crazy.
Bro, that's 2 dimes, bro. Like, what? 20 years for breaking curfew as a grown-ass man? If I'm being honest, this is just me. JD hot take number 1.
Number 1.
If I'm Shujinko, I'm moving around trying to handle my business in Sato, and Hotaru stops me, talking about some, bro, I gotta arrest you, bro, for breaking curfew. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to beat your ass right quick, bro. I mess with you though, bro. Like, you're cool. I like Hotaru, but you think you finna take me to jail for breaking a curfew?
Yeah, I'm saying.
Press these hands right quick, my guy.
I don't care if you have
out the way.
One of the coolest designs in the 3D era. That's not saving your ass from being this disrespectful. Oh my lord. But that is what happened, right?
Flags on the back and all. I'm gonna take his flags and beat his ass with them.
That is basically the only connection to Shujinko. And I hate to say this. I don't actually hate to say this, but I don't think that this is foreshadowing or this is necessarily even connecting it to Shujinko's character.
See, my thing is that I've been seeing that a lot because it's the fact that it says that did Havik specifically break curfew? Was that the injustice, or does it not say in the Bible?
Yeah, it doesn't say. And what's different between this injustice and Shujinko's is that he was physically punished. Havik was. So it must have been different.
Just sat in a cell.
Yeah, it must have been different than what Shujinko did. But even so, like, that is not a critical moment of Shujinko's, like, well, it is a critical moment of his life.
I mean, no, it's a critical moment, but it's like it could have happened to anyone in Sato, though.
Yeah, like, that wasn't specific to
Sato.
him.
Like, you're going to be harshly crimed. They're going to throw the book at you if you steal a piece of candy, bro. Like I understand that this happened to Shujinko, and it's coincidentally, like, you know, a big part of his story, but it's like that can happen to anyone in Sato, though. So I don't feel that it would be specifically Shujinko. Like, there's no reason to ruin that legacy of what Shujinko did just for this to, you know, like, this. It wouldn't make sense if I'm being realistic. I understand it's the new era. There's a lot of new story, but it seems that a lot of the new stories are just changing small things to make certain things the same way as it was in this new era. That's pretty much what it seems like.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I don't feel that. I feel like, if anything, Shujinko would have something to do with, you know, because didn't Shujinko have the option from Shang Tsung to come to the Mortal Kombat tournament, but he chose not to because he had to do something for Damashi.
Yeah, because he was still working for Damashi.
Imagine this time he goes to the tournament with them. Maybe that's where Liu Kang is escorting all of them out of, because he's recruited them. Because remember when Liu Kang said we have more fighters to fight, or something like that, where he had the hood on with Sub-Zero and Scorpion behind him.
So that might be one of the recruits.
And then it cut to the Raiden and Kung Lao. So yeah, maybe he's recruited his whole squad and bringing them here for the tournament. Maybe that's like the first couple chapters. I don't know. See, crazy theory. Anyway,
but yeah, no, we could talk about Shujinko all day. Another Shujinko episode will happen one day.
Man, Shujinko is just him, bro. Like,
my favorite character,
Shujinko's top 5 for me, bro. I don't care. I don't care.
Love him. But anyway, what we're trying to say, we're dragging this on, but it's probably not him. This is simple story writing. This is being consistent with Sato's story writing. That's all this is. This is technically a callback, yes, but it isn't a callback specifically to Shujinko. It's just a callback to the way Sato was. So do keep that in mind. So that is the first theory that we want to talk about.
Now let's move on to the next guy, number 2 on the list, and I feel like number 2 might be the most accurate one, if I'm being realistic.
100%. I would have to agree with you. Go ahead, rip the band-aid off, JD.
Dairou with his big forehead. He don't have dreams. He has movies.
Reflecting the sun with this thing right here. But shout out to Dairou. I do like Dairou.
Nah, I mess with Dairou though, for real. I do
mess with him. I do. I think he's
he just had a
cool
more sick, like his story is definitely big for like what it is, because that's honestly a pretty cool storyline, if I'm being honest. But it's like he wasn't pushed to the forefront. He didn't do anything super major except for run into Shujinko and who else? I don't even remember. That's how, you know.
Yeah, the biggest thing that he did.
But it's like his stuff just kind of happened off screen, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. But like you wouldn't even know his story unless you finished his tower ending and Darius's tower ending, and I think Hotaru's tower ending. I can't remember. Maybe not Hotaru's. But anyway, Dairou was a character that was told through the lore, not directly like Conquest mode. Dairou was present in Conquest mode, but that's not really here nor there, right? But Dairou is a character that I think is very similar to this new iteration of Havik. So much so to where if they're gonna make any character him, I think that it should be, you know, Dairou. So let's go ahead and draw these comparisons here. So if we go back to Havik's bio here, Havik finally decides to act. He sets out to destroy Sato's regime and replace it with an anarchist utopia that is so raw. Once he breaks Sato's social order, Havik will free its citizens. Together they will live in a blessed anarchy. So basically, Havik lived in Sato his whole life, right? It was probably fine until he found out the injustices that they were doing. And it was all fun and games as long as he followed the rules and his family followed the rules, until one day he didn't, and they mistreated the fuck out of him, right? And that's basically the story of Havik, but that's also the story of Dairou.
The exact same story. We're just gonna see it on screen this time, pretty much.
Here is Dairou's bio for comparison. But it doesn't really explain the whole story. Like I said, it's a connection to Darius and Dairou's story, so I'm gonna fill in some blanks as we go. But here is Dairou's bio. I was once a member of the Satan Guard, kind of similar to Havik, where Havik lived in Sato. He was a normal Well, I mean, granted, he was part of the lowest caste, whereas Dairou was actually part of the highest caste, because he actually lived or excuse me, worked for the Satan Guard. But that's probably one of the new era like shifts, you know what I mean? So that's why it kind of makes more sense. But anyway, so they both were loyal to Sato, is a way that we can put it. They were both loyal at one point. I believed in the power of order and lived in the strict codes of my superiors. Same thing with Havik. They both followed the rules until one day they didn't, and then Sato turned on them like completely. In Havik's case, it's probably more ruthless, but it still happened for both of them. Dairou saved many lives during his years of service, but when I killed an assailant in a fit of rage, I was arrested and sentenced to a life of incarceration. So it doesn't actually say what happened here, but
killed an assailant. That means self-defense.
Yes, he basically was committing an act of revenge. It was not like initiated by him. So right here, Dairou is unaware that his family was murdered by an assassin hired by Darius.
Oh shit.
So what happened here is Darius, he's him.
It's crazy that when Darius came back, a lot of people didn't even know who he was. Like, bro, if y'all were playing the game back in the 3D era, like, if you know, bro.
Yeah, Dairou was unaware that his family was murdered by an assassin hired by Darius, the same one who hired him to kill Hotaru. So basically, if you're kind of confused here, basically Darius is part of the resistance. He is against Sato. And so his number one tactic, which I should have pulled up his bio, he says this in his bio, but his number one tactic is to kill a person's family and then try and, kill a person's family or send an assassin to kill someone's family, then have the person arrested in Sato, of course, and then break them out after they have killed the person that killed their family. So basically Darius is setting up these events to happen by making somebody very mad by killing their family or having somebody do it for him, and breaking them out of prison so that they can have an allyship with him, a friendship with him, so that they can become allies. So it is the most disgusting, horrible shit ever. Like, this man Darius actually hired an assassin to kill Dairou's entire family and then went back and hired him and broke him out of prison. Crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But anyway.
That is wild, bro.
It is wild. To
hear that all over again and like remember how this shit played out is crazy, bro. Like, dang. And now Darius is a cameo, but at least it's in the game. Anyway, and
then also, this is kind of unrelated as well, but Darius actually then hired Dairou after breaking him out of prison to kill Hotaru. Crazy. We don't know if this is necessarily
it all
canon.
Came full circle.
Yeah, it did come full circle. We don't know if this is necessarily canon because of it only happening in Dairou's ending, but just do keep that in mind. So anyway, with that said, that was kind of a long drawn out Dairou session.
Gotta show some respect to bro.
So it says here, right, he's very frustrated with how Sato treats him now after this crime, because he only did it in retaliation. So it says, for all the good I had done, the event that had come to define me was that one moment of chaos. And here you can see the parallels between order and chaos. So literally in Dairou's old bio, he says that the one moment that defined him was the moment of chaos. I don't know. That alone can kind of hint to him being Havik in a way. But anyway, let's start drawing more of those conclusions I was talking about. So they both were loyal to Sato at one point. They both lived there peacefully. Then they did something that was not okay with Sato. Then they got heavily punished for it, and then they escaped, and now they wanted to work for the ops, basically the opposition. And that's basically what's happening here for Havik and for Dairou.
What a upset!
Yeah, and the other thing here, right? And we talked about this. I almost forgot to bring this up, but we did talk about this. Havik and Darius were actually allies in the original timeline. So Havik and Darius worked very closely together. So all they have to do here in this new era is basically fuse Havik and Dairou, because they both worked alongside Darius, and there you go. Like it basically just merges their stories together. Like a lot of people really did love that mysterious nature to Havik, like not really knowing his origin per se, and accepting everything that he had, regardless of where it came from, for face value. But I think that them doing it this way, where he's a character that comes from Sato, he's a character that was born into this corrupted, this mischievous, just horrible, like backwards order system, and he knows what's wrong with it, and then he grows up to hate it. I think that's actually a very good touch for his character.
Yeah.
That is basically the main comparison from Dairou and Havik. I do think that that is the most likely if he's going to be a character that exists. The other theory that we talked about in the beginning, which we don't really think is as likely anymore, is King Jerrod. King Jerrod did die. We know that he is also dead in this timeline. He died on Li Mei's watch, and that is kind of an issue within the royal family, within the police officers of our world, because of Li Mei's potential negligence, but we don't really know. I think that Li Mei's actually innocent in that situation, but granted, the whole situation that we're talking about here is the fact that King Jerrod could also be Havik. The reason that that is not going to be the case anymore is because of his bio. Like, simply. Havik is his own character. He's from Sado. It can't happen anymore, right? That's why it makes even more sense that it's Dairou who was in Sado. He lived his whole life in Sado, just like Havik in the new timeline. The other theory that a lot of people like to throw around, right, is Hotaru. And I do see why people say this just off of face value, and that is because Hotaru is the face of Sado. So if you're taking the face of Chaos Realm and then making him start to originate from Sado, it does make sense that they're like, how about we make him the face of Sado? And I do understand that. However, in my personal opinion, I would have to imagine that Hotaru still exists as a strong figure in Sado even in the new era. I don't really see how they can take away the number one Seidan guardsman, so I think that it's very important that they maintain Hotaru's story. So I don't think that it's him, but I do want to talk about the theory that people kind of throw around.
I definitely don't think it's Hotaru, honestly, if I'm being realistic. I mean, it's just, yeah, people just say that because the first time of Sado, that's just boom, because Hotaru is the face of Sado, if we're being honest.
Yeah, for sure,
so
undoubtedly.
Like, yeah, so it's like instantly you're gonna go to that, but Hotaru was so strung into, like, his mind was so fabricated with the thought of justice and order. Like, I can't see this being him. Like, they would keep that character. Maybe he can be an NPC or something, but
I just don't see them changing.
I don't know. I don't see that because Hotaru's whole story is being a loyal Seidan general, if I'm not being mistaken.
The head of the Seidan Guard, yeah.
Exactly, like the leader. So, yeah, that in itself just makes me not think it's him. I think there are more viable answers, being specifically, if we're being realistic, Dairou. But, I mean, hey, it's NRS, so who knows? They might pull, it could just turn around. Shit, I don't know, this could be Kai or something.
Yeah, the other thing I was thinking about is that it could be like a complete oddball and they don't really tie it to Sado. But I think that
they don't explain it whatsoever.
Yeah, that's why I think that Dairou makes the most sense. Like, if they were to make him Dairou in this game, we already know why without even having to play the game. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think that would just be good.
Like, it makes the most sense to do this.
The one thing that people do say with this, right, is that Hotaru was so strung up in order that he even worked with Onaga and the the Forces of Darkness. And he did this so that he can have control over all the realms. This was obviously directly something that Havik hated. Havik hates order in any way. He loves pure blissful anarchy, and that's just how he is. But the reason that people draw conclusions, at least from what I've seen from my comments, shout out to the community, people have said that Havik wants to push his agenda onto the realms. And we know that because of his dialogue with Ashra. Ashra says, like, I will not let you turn another realm, or what is it, like turn a realm into another? Is that what it was?
Destroying one realm to save another is a heinous proposition.
Yeah, that's what it was. The one that I will not let you fulfill. God, I love her voice actress.
And this is where I jump into the pot. I gotta throw some seasoning into the, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Quickly,
stir it up and cook up
quickly,
right quick,
before you become Ratatouille. One second.
Okay,
so one second. One last thing. I know. I want to make sure this is organized. So the last thing we were gonna say about Hotaru.
Go ahead. We good.
The last thing we were gonna say about Hotaru is, people say that it could be him because Hotaru was pushing order on all the realms and he wanted to change all the realms to have order. And in this new era, Havik wants to push his agenda on the realms and create chaos. And the only reason that people draw this conclusion is because Chaos Realm doesn't exist. And Hotaru wanted to basically make every realm like Sado. And so that's why people draw the conclusion. Because it's like, okay, they both have similar motives, just reverse. And since it's a new timeline, they can do that. and I understand that. Again, I don't really think that that's the case. So with that said,
Yeah.
Shujinko, I don't think so. Dairou, I do think so. And then Hotaru, I can see it, but I don't really think so. And yeah, with that said, JD, get the fucking pots out. Put the oil on the pan. Start frying. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I've been over here stirring up the little butter I threw in the pan, letting it sear up and get all around. I'm about to saute these onions.
All right. No, I can hear it actually. Damn, I can hear the sizzling. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's jump into what we know for as of right now, right? So he pops up out of nowhere in the bandits trailer, fighting Ashura. Right before it cuts to him, we see a green skull fly towards Ashura. She hits it down with her Chris. Just a badass, by the way. But
true.
So
true.
yeah, when that happened, you know, clearly I'm thinking that's Quan Chi. So boom, jump over to what he said about trying to destroy one realm. Well, what she said, I should say, about trying to destroy one realm to save another.
Yeah.
And that just made me think, right? Because from his bio, he's from Sato, not from the Chaos realm.
Yeah, exactly.
So that makes me think that boom, he's trying to destroy a realm. I'm gonna get into what realm I think he may be in a second. But what I'm thinking is that okay, boom, he starts the rebellion in Sato after whatever period of time when he's punished for his crime or whatever. Now he looks like how he does.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that, but I do think that
Chaos realm. I don't think that's a realm yet in this universe.
So you don't think Chaos realm?
I think whatever. No, I don't think it's a realm at all.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I would say that because, see that for sure.
I say that because, like Asher said, he's trying to destroy one realm to save another. I'm thinking he's trying to turn a realm into Chaos realm.
But do you think that because she says save another, do you think that Chaos realm actually exists? Like it actually exists in the lore? Like maybe he finds out from Liu Kang or Garrus or something? Like what do you think? You know what I mean? Because otherwise, the idea of Chaos Realm probably doesn't exist. Yeah, we're not going to get into leaks. There hasn't been some crazy leaks these last few days. If we get into those, we'll do it at the very end. But as of right now, with that in mind, everyone that was fans of the 3D era probably immediately thought that he was either turning Outworld into Chaos Realm, turning Sato into Chaos Realm, etc. And that's probably the case. But the one thing that's weird about this is how does he know the idea of Chaos Realm? How does that even exist? And sure, it could be that he doesn't even know about it and he's creating his own thing from scratch, which is probably what is gonna happen. But the way that Ashura says it, where Ashura says saving a realm, so it's like, does it exist in theory, like in prophecy? Like, how did he find that out? Was it Liu Kang? Was it Garrus? That is a very interesting proposition, right? It might not exist physically, but maybe the idea of Chaos Realm exists, and they know about that from past timelines or something. Because as of right now, it seems that Chaos Realm doesn't exist. And it wouldn't make sense for him to save Sato or save Outworld or something. Or
maybe it's like destroyed and he's trying to like bring it back to life in a way.
So you think that Chaos Realm might actually have existed, but Liu Kang maybe destroyed it in this new era? But he knows about that? I wonder how he knows.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. They use that's where they use other characters that have fucked around, came across it, and then they tie it back into them with the story. But like I was saying, okay, maybe it is a realm and it just needs to be restored. But
he could be creating it from scratch. That could be a thing too. Like he just wants to create his own realm that's full of chaos and anarchy. Yeah. Continue that.
And then it's like from his bio, it was saying that he's gonna save his people and stuff like that. So that means that his entire people, like I'm guessing all of the prisoners and the ones like in the lower hierarchy of the Satan, of Sato.
Yeah, the low caste that I was talking about. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Exactly. If they're backing him up behind him, I'm sure that's numbers. Like there's a lot of them. I'm sure all of them have. Maybe like he just comes from a clan of people who all have like the same type of powers. So it's not like.
Ooh, so you think that he has blood powers? I saw a tweet about that. That's kind of
like
a
the blood magic.
Yeah, people were saying he might have blood magic
in MKX comics.
Oh, he did. Okay, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I am a little uneducated about the MKX comics, but that makes a lot of sense. He probably has blood magic in this iteration as well.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. He literally like he wasn't doing that in Deception. He was just breaking bones and twisting his head off and throwing all type of stuff.
Yeah, but definitely a new thing.
Yeah, this is definitely a new take on it, but I'm loving it. I don't have a problem with it at all. I'm thinking maybe like in the process of him taking over Sato and shit. What if it's like that like destroys the realm. So it's like he has to. I don't know exactly how that even makes sense. Destroying one realm to save another. I honestly don't get. I can't see that.
I'm thinking there's all reason. I know, I understand what you're saying. It's kind of like
maybe it's like
it's
you
too
steal
set
the
in stone.
Kamidogu of that realm.
Yeah, because the one being, that's
you
true.
Get more power from it.
How can you create a new realm from scratch? Because the one being would have to be separated into another realm already. So maybe it is true that the one being's consciousness was separated into Chaos Realm already, and like he finds out about it, but like the realm is actually decrepit, like it's full of nothingness, and it wasn't used maybe. But either way, right? We do know that Havik in his bio says Havik wants to free his people, free its citizens. He wants his people to live in blessed anarchy. So maybe he does take over Outworld or take over Sado and then free his people so that they can take it over, right? That could definitely be a thing as well. And then that's how they create their realm.
And apparently he has Quan Chi to help him. So
yeah, it does seem that Quan Chi might be on his side. Also, if that's a story cutscene, is Serena actually in the story as an NPC? Because like she's in that cutscene with Havik.
I think there's going to be like a bunch of cameos, maybe even cameos we can't play.
Oh yeah, we know that's a thing actually. The story. Yeah, from the story exclusive cameos.
This isn't one of those stories where it's only going to be the characters that are on the roster.
Yeah,
in the game. That's true. Which makes a lot of sense, honestly.
It's actually a good thing, I think, especially with cameo fighters being involved. Yeah, and I think that the cameo fighters with different designs, like not the classic designs like Goro, Serena, like those characters are probably going to be in the story as well. But anyway, we do know that Havik wants to create this new Chaos Realm. We've talked about his potential identity, and the point is, he's cool as fuck. He's awesome, and there is a bunch of rumors about him being another character, so we basically lay those out here. Again, with his current story or whatever story they're trying to tell within Mortal Kombat 1, it is going to be a unique one. It doesn't seem that they're not going down the route of the 3D era. They're not going down the route of MKX comics, because if that was completely new, because if that was the case, then Chaos Realm would already exist, you know what I mean? He would already be basically the king of chaos, right? That isn't the case.
It's just it seems like everyone in the story has some type of depth to them. Like that's what I'm liking about. That's what, once again, I said this before in a previous episode, but I said I feel like they purposely picked this amount of characters for the base roster just to tell the base story. Like they all will have depth and weight behind them. It won't be like this guy dies and that just we just won't like that was just it. Just like an off-screen death or something like that. Like, no, I feel like they all will have impact.
Yeah, Baraka and Reptile are good examples of that, right? Where they can be jobbers in previous stories, but in this story, they have this tragedy about them. They have this other aspect about them that is otherwise, didn't exist prior. And the fact that they're here now can build up the character to be something greater than before. And Havik is also part of that club, right? With this new origin of Sado, because we can actually see his descent into hatred for order, opposed to just being like, okay, yeah, I accept that, and it being part of his character. Now we can see the slow descent into it. And granted, like you said earlier in the episode, which I do agree with your take on this, where you said that his bio is probably already set in stone, and they won't explain this in the story mode of the game. We're just supposed to be like, okay, that's his bio, okay, cool, that's his origin, okay. They probably won't go into this, but I'm sure that as his character progresses and we see him do more things in the story, we will see his motives be fleshed out. Like we will see why he did certain things. We will see what happened to his body, like what his punishment was, and these things that built up to make him hate Sado the way he does. And I'm sure that will be a thing. I would absolutely hate if he becomes a jobber. That would be heartbreaking. I would cry if he becomes a jobber. Some people have said that he looks like a jobber. I hope not. I really hope not. But anyway, I like his character, regardless of who he is out of this lineup that we said today. It's cool. It doesn't matter to me. He's here, regardless of his original bio.
As long as he's back, bro. That's all I care about.
But at the end of the day, I do think that Dairou is the option that I would be the most content with, because it makes sense and is consistent, I think.
Yeah, like if it happened, I'd be like, okay, good. Y'all went the route that made sense. Y'all didn't go out on a lamb and just do some whole other stuff, even though at this point we know Mr. Dominic Ciancholo is known for that. So we keep your expectations low, people. But Havik's here, so don't let it bother you too much.
Definitely some silly, wacky writing happens with the recent stuff. Definitely some wacky, silly stuff, but this is a different iteration of what Mortal Kombat can be, and I hope that they're taking that seriously, right? But anyway, that's basically it. I appreciate you for coming on as always, JD. So much.
For sure, man.
These episodes are always very fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Do you have any closing thoughts you want to say about Havik, JD?
Just finished the MK1 beta. If y'all were wondering what when this recording is taking place. But
yeah, we finished it today.
I was maining Liu Kang. If I'm being honest, I'm not feeling it. If I'm being honest, like, he has no mix-up game whatsoever. He's so honest. Like, you can just low block the whole time, and it's nothing he can do besides, keep poking, hoping that he hits you. But at this point, Havik's gonna be my main.
The beta did finish today, though. I had a lot of fun playing it. I ended up playing mostly Sub-Zero, but Havik's gameplay in the game seems very, very good. I'm very excited to see how Havik plays and how they implement him into the story, right? So yeah, with that said, I appreciate you guys for watching. Again, shout out to JD for always being here. We forget to say this most times, but if you guys have specific topics you want us to cover on the show, then drop them in the comments and we will try our best to try and tackle those in future episodes.
Leave them off with like a teaser, like what the next one is going to be.
Oh, leave them off with the teaser?
I think I kind of know which one I want it to be, and I don't feel that you would have any problem with that.
Oh, okay, yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Say it.
Oh, Naga.
Okay, yeah, we do got to do that. So next episode will be about Onaga. The Dragon King is upon us, I'm sure, and we'll see what they do with him very, very soon. So make sure you guys stay safe and stay hydrated, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Never come down to it, I go back to flipping zips, and that's on God. You gotta like me, but I swear you gon' respect me. 80 rappers ain't as hard as me, I mean that shit respectfully. Every beat I touch, I walk it down, my brother's next to me. And they know I stand on loyalty, you ain't even gotta question me. Hater, Mr. Menace, what you on? Man, tryna be on some ball shit. Go play my album, let's see if you fuck with the raw shit. Been players making moves, it's getting caught to the